Yeah, we got some special stuff happening this week, man. I wish I had a whole hour because I could sit here and talk about it all day. We got two main stories happening today. The first one involves Alex Jones, and the second one involves the big orange menace himself, Donald Trump. Now, let's go ahead and start with the conversation about Alex Jones because they kind of tie into one another a little bit. So, Alex Jones has been on trial because of defamation. He is being sued for defamation because he kept saying that the kids that got murdered in Sandy Hook were paid actors. So, because he kept saying this on his quote unquote news channel,
I don't know exactly what happened. Sandy Hook's inconclusive. In one shot, leaves blowing and flowers that are out, and you see the leaves blowing, and they glitch. They're recycling a green screen behind. What do you do when they've got the kids going in circles in and out of the building with their hands up? I've watched the footage, and it looks like a drill.
There were basically people harassing the parents of the children that had passed away in this horrific incident. So the parents had to sue InfoWars and Alex Jones just so he would stop making these comments about them. Basically, it got so bad that people were harassing them in the streets. They were sending them threatening emails, calling them all this terrible stuff. So, of course, the families got together and they're suing Alex Jones for defamation because of all of this. Now, Alex Jones is going through a court trial, and you guys have to see the videos of this because it is literally out of a movie. As Alex Jones is testifying, the attorney from the other side brings in some bombshell evidence. The lawyers for Alex Jones made a ridiculously insane mistake. What they did is that they forwarded over to the opposing lawyer Alex Jones' entire cell phone data.
Yes. So you did get my text messages. And it said you didn't. Nice trick.
Yes, Mr. Jones.
Oh.
Indeed. You didn't give this text message to me. You don't know where this came from. Do you know where I got this?
No.
Mr. Jones, did you know that 12 days ago, your attorneys messed up and sent me an entire digital copy of your entire cell phone with every text message you've sent for the past 2 years, and when informed, did not take any steps to identify it as privileged or protect it in any way. And as of 2 days ago, it fell free and clear into my possession. And that is how I know you lied to me when you said you didn't have text messages about Sandy Hook. Did you know that?
I told you the truth. This is your Perry Mason moment. I gave them my phone, and then...
Mr. Jones, you need to answer the question.
No,
Did you know this happened?
No, I didn't know this happened. But I mean, I told you I gave them the phone over.
Just
And
answer
you
the
said,
question.
you said in your deposition, you searched your phone. You said you pulled down the text, did the search function for Sandy Hook. That's what you said, Mr. Jones, correct?
And I had several different phones with this number, but I did, yeah. Well, of course. I mean, that's why you got it.
No, Mr. Jones.
So after that insane moment, Alex Jones was deemed guilty, and he has been ordered to fork over about $50 million for damages to the parents of the kids in the tragic Sandy Hook massacre. And the thing is that in those 300 gigabytes of information, there might be some additional information that has to do with the January 6th incident, where a bunch of Trumpers and trumpets were seizing the Capitol and trying to take over the government. Somehow, they weren't really sure. I don't think they kind of thought that whole thing through. But in relation to the January 6th incident, Alex Jones has actually given some testimonies. And now this information that the opposing counsel has could be used in court against not only Alex Jones for his involvement in the January 6th events, but also against Donald Trump for the same incidents. And speaking of Donald Trump, this is the second part of the story. The FBI just recently seized a bunch of information from Donald Trump over in Mar-a-Lago. The basic theory right now is that Donald Trump was being told that he had to give over some paperwork that he took from the office when he was president. So basically, Trump was the president. He gets a box full of documents. Some of them may be classified, and he takes those documents over to Mar-a-Lago. The FBI told him that he needed to give up these documents, and Trump refused. He gave over some documents, and right now the theory is that the FBI was like, yo, this is all of the documents. Where's the rest of them? Now, a lot of people are a little bit confused. There's a lot of what ifs and what if-isms going on about Hillary Clinton and the emails, but you guys forget that Hillary Clinton had a trial for these emails, and they just didn't find enough information to find her guilty. Was it a mess up? Yes, but there was a trial. She was found out guilty. It is what it is. Back to Trump. So the whole thing going on right now is that we don't really know what the FBI sieged from the property. We don't really know why they did it and what's going on. But the key thing that we should know is that Trump has to have the warrant that allowed the FBI to search through all his stuff. And in that warrant, there is the reason why it is being searched. And Trump is purposefully not disclosing that information. That tells you that he has something to hide. And if it was just about, some little nonsense, I don't think the FBI would go through the whole ordeal of actually raiding his house and taking these documents by force. So let me put on my conspiracy hat real quick. And if you guys know, I got a pretty good track record. If I say it's going to happen, there's a pretty good chance it's going to happen. And right now, my theory is that they actually sieged information regarding the January 6th, siege of the Capitol. But also, there's going to be a lot of information regarding, his taxes, all the illegal stuff that he's done throughout the years. And in that paperwork, I believe that we might see the first arrest, or at least the first real trial of an American ex-president by the administration of a current president. This is, no pun intended, unprecedented. There has never been a situation like this where one president is basically investigating and trying to siege up the previous president. Now, this is something that I have some mixed feelings on because it does kind of create a weird precedent to be going forward. However, if Donald Trump did in fact break the law and he did in fact have a part in the January 6th incident, which was again basically an insurrection against the government where we tried to topple the existing government and put in a new one, that is a real problem that has to be addressed. He can't just get away with it and we just pretend like nothing happened. So we'll see where this all goes. You definitely know that I'm going to be on top of it, making sure that we get every last detail. But hopefully the FBI didn't just screw the pooch and do this whole siege over something minor. Hopefully there's some real meat in this bones and we can get a trial not only sentencing Alex Jones, but also his orange pal, Donald Trump. That's it for me on Z News. Thank you guys for watching. If you're on YouTube, please go ahead and leave a like, drop a comment, and subscribe so you stay tuned to the latest news. Peace.